So yeah, I got ARMS today, and I want to finish this Nintendo talk so I can go play some ARMS. Welcome back, everybody. Another episode, Nintendo Talk.
Let's go!
So today I wanted to talk real quick. There's three topics I have in order. I wanted to bounce through them real quick. Amazon. Man, how do you guys continue to drop the ball? I really want to know this. I don't understand that since the Switch launched, you guys can't seem to hit a release date on pre-orders. Blows my mind. So when the Switch came out, full disclosure, I pre-ordered from Amazon, right? I had to fight with them on the phone in order to get it on release date. There was numerous people that did not get it on release date because they completely missed it, and it came the next week. Craziness that you pay like all this money for Amazon Prime. It's $100 a year, but you know, still, you're paying upfront shipping in theory. They're giving you all this stuff that I really don't care about. Like, don't give me Amazon Prime, like, on TV, like the video service or whatever. Like, I don't need the music, I don't need none of that. Just get my packages here when I ordered them on release date. I literally went out, I canceled my pre-order from Amazon a month and a half ago, and I went and pre-ordered it at Best Buy because this is just nonsense, man. There's all kinds of people that I saw today complaining that they were not going to get this thing on launch day. That is so messed up, man. It's I don't get it. I don't understand how they can't get this stuff out. Like, okay, maybe they're just trying to go the way of, like, so many copies were getting sent out prior that they're just afraid that they're going to ship them prior, or people are going to get them in their hands a day ahead of time. Like, it's craziness. Like, how do you miss, on a 2-day shipping, how do you miss that many packages? I don't get it. Maybe I need to work there to figure it out. I do shipping and receiving for my job, and it's stressful as all hell, but man, it's not that difficult to hit your deadlines when you pay attention. Like, I don't get it. You do this every day. Sad. I feel bad for the people. In all seriousness, like, I'm being a little bit facetious to some extent, but in a degree I'm not as well. Like, there's people out there that are pretty upset today because, again, Amazon has dropped the ball. This is Mario Kart. They did the same thing. The Switch release, they did it. Like, somebody needs to get it together over there. Like, this is just bad. Speaking of bad and the inability to meet shipments, Doug Bowser, Nintendo VP of Nintendo America, he basically came out today and said he was talking to NintendoLife. I believe that's who he was talking to. That's who I'm getting the article from, so the source is NintendoLife. It says, Doug Bowser says Nintendo has learned a lot from demand for NES Mini. What he actually was quoted to saying is, we've learned a lot from the NES Classic. The NES Classic was originally intended to be a holiday item and obviously was high demand. So we doubled down and continued to produce it as we went into the next quarter. But we decided we wanted to focus on other areas, so we're not producing anymore at this point, but we've learned a lot. My question is, what did you learn? Did you learn to make the cords a little longer? Like, I hope you learned that, Doug. Did you learn to do more than 2 million units? Like, I hope you learned that. And the other thing I think you probably should have learned, or I hope you learned, is to make them so they're not hackable. Because these babies were hackable. My lord. Like, people dropping 700 games on it and stuff. Craziness. It was, yeah, bad. But, I mean, all seriousness, like, they did drop the ball big time with this thing. And I feel like they did try to do right. But in the end of the day, like, they should have not stopped producing them. Just keep making them. Now, I don't know whether contracts with the with the manufacturer ran out. Like, maybe they had a short-term contract because they said, we're just going to do this for Christmas, and then it blew out the doors, and then they were like, oh man. And maybe that contractor wanted to raise prices and they didn't want to do that. I'm not 100% sure why that happened, but hopefully if they do a Super Nintendo Classic, they get it together and they do this much better than the last one. They couldn't even get the controllers out, man. Like, the controllers were harder to get than the consoles. Like, thank God they gave you one, because if they didn't give you one, it would have been a nightmare. Like, they gave you one and it just, you know, totally couldn't get a second one. It was nuts. I don't know. So there's that. So AMR2, Dr. M64 is his name, the creator. He said, Metroid is the only Nintendo universe with a cohesive story, with a well-defined continuity. People can enjoy most chapters of that story while playing great solid games. The only chapter that felt outdated was Metroid 2. So I finally released AM2R, added that last piece that was missing. Metroid, Samus Returns, departs quite a lot from the source material, and the new abilities seem to add some depth to the combat. It's really interesting to see what an entire dev team can do with the same source material compared to my humble rendition. I'm very curious about what the Metroid Queen, the final boss, will play like. I'm sure it'll be epic. Given how different both games are, I'm sure many people will see my game as more than just another Metroid 2 remake. Okay, there's that. And then Mr. Sakamoto of Nintendo, he commented and said, we heard about it first after we had already started development. We know it exists. The fact that a fan is out there that really likes this series this much. So that's not really, that's almost like, yeah, we heard about you, we know about you, whatever. I think this obviously tells why Nintendo shut them down. Like, I know Nintendo gets a bad rap all the time for trying to shut down fan projects to protect their IP and all that stuff. And this, to me, when it happened, a lot of people attacked Nintendo and they wanted to know. Because, I mean, even when as far as, like, the Game Awards were trying to give an award to fan creators. And Nintendo actually blocked this one and the Pokemon game from actually getting at the awards ceremony. And people were against Nintendo for that. And I see now why they stopped. Not so much the award thing, I don't get that part, but this part, I get it. Like, I think that they were afraid that it would dip into their sales a little bit or hurt their sales. Like, when you're spending all this money to develop a game, you don't want anything to take away from that. And if people are like, well, you know what, I don't want to play that Metroid because I can go get this Metroid 2 for free, that's not good. That's not good for Nintendo at all. So I think ultimately I can see why Nintendo fought it. It's just, it's craziness. So that's pretty much it. Thank you guys for watching. Tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're going to do something called Nintendo Talk Live. I will be there. I'm going to have a good friend of mine, Barry Dunn from Nintendo Impact Gaming. He's going to come on. He's going to come over and come on the show. And we're going to just talk. We're going to talk about Nintendo. We're going to talk about some of these news topics, some other news topics, and just have a little chat. We'll go as long as people want us to go. I'm figuring probably an hour. But if we have people in the chat, we'll talk to them. We'll answer some questions, and it should be a lot of fun. So if you're free, stop on by. It'll be on my YouTube channel, so that way you guys can check it out there. So other than that, if you like this video, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Follow me, Instagram, Twitter, at Nintendo Gurus. It's the weekend. Go enjoy. See me later.